Right, let's move on to Bellew of the Week then for episode
Don't know, but
533.
I'd watch it. Put it that way.
Bellew of the Week for episode 533. Rob's here, Andy's here, Matty's here. Steve has to get out before Mrs. Wellington starts shouting at him. So we're on time, on schedule here. It's 10 to 10 on the Sunday evening. We have done our best.
Yeah, she's letting you out of the house for the weekend, so I guess you should obey this time.
Absolutely, you're quite right, Matty. You're quite right indeed. A shout out to Tony Bellew as our first nomination here. He's going in, Matty. He says, people wrote this young man off and refused to believe. I didn't. All the people who slated him and tarnished his name should apologise. I'm so happy for you and proud of you. You never gave up, even in the darkest moments. Shout out to Conor Benn there, Matty.
Yeah, he never gave up lying. Yeah, big fucking company man. Yeah, fucking know he's guilty as fuck. Yeah, big fucking bushy man. Bellew, fuck off, man.
You know, like there's one thing that I really fucking hate. It's when people are treated as being heroic when they're anything but. Like, there's enough unsung heroes in this world who should be, having their name put forth for the things that they do. Fuck Conor Benn. I mean, seriously, and fuck Bellew for saying this. Like, find something fucking better to do with your lives. I mean, seriously, get a fucking life.
Conor pretended to be guilty, Andy, and he wasn't all along. He dared to be great.
He dared to be great, mate. He dared to stack on the pounds. It'll be interesting to know what he does in terms of weight when he comes back. Is he stacked on too much? He needs to go up to the 54 now. So he needs to bypass like some Boots NS and Crawford and that and go straight for the big fish up at 54. I think Conor Benn will be doing that. Calling it the big guys. Don't think so somehow.
Well, now that he's cleared and Boots is not getting a shot at that title, now that he's cleared the fight, let him fucking fight Boots Ennis. He was wanting it before he was banned, wasn't he? Now that and by the way, this clearance has come suspiciously 12 months after he first popped, hasn't it? Like,
apparently, it's not been confirmed publicly yet, but they're talking about it's what he's been supposedly cleared and wasn't even based on any scientific topic or anything like that. It was based on some sort of jurisdiction situation.
He's been cleared of not taking heroin, Andy. He's innocent. There's none in his system. He's completely innocent to take. He didn't take heroin. We know that.
Meanwhile, he's sitting on a 270-page dossier that he could release, and it would prove his innocence. We're still waiting to see. So look, when he comes back, best of luck to him. I just hope his first fight's against Crawford. I'll just leave it at that.
Cindy
because
Crawford.
it'll be his last fight.
the only chance he have against the Crawford if he was fighting Cindy Crawford. Let me tell you. Fuck's sake.
You might have a chance against a crawfish.
Well, there's one for you, Rob. Danny Young asked the question. He said, "Who was better in their prime, Terence or Cindy?" Tough one,
Well, Terence would see your true colours turning blue, but it'd be your eye. You know that way.
Cindy had some prime, like she had some resume, body of work.
We Are the World and everything in there.
Who was the one in the ring with Bud last night with the blue hair? Sorry,
I think that's his sister, isn't it? That's one of his sisters.
Woohoo!
Is all that stuff coming up on the Bellew, Steve?
I don't think so. I've only got a limited shelf life tonight, but
okay.
I've got a Terence, a bit of a Terence appreciation there in the top right hand corner. You might have noticed throughout the pod.
Who is that?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's Mrs. Crawford. Shout out.
That the one time this was slagging off.
She slimmed down.
I'm not sure. I just got the first photo I could find.
Hey, what can I just say? Tie-in booth wood. So the lawyer.
Is she bad to tie-in booth? Anyway, maybe we should move on to this. We mentioned it earlier.
That's Count Chocula now. Look at Mamma mia.
Mamma mia looks like he's coming to do magic, man. Eh?
Fucking Penn and Teller. He's in the right place anyway.
All he needs is a fucking top hat and a rabbit next to him.
Merrill, by the way, I asked him to come on the pod before because I reached out to him DM'd him on Twitter and I was like, look, we're doing this boxing podcast. I'd love to have you on. He was like, I definitely come on as soon as my schedule permits. And then I sent him a link to it. And then we never heard from him again. Wonder what's up with him.
Don't know.
Mamma mia.
Oh dear. Right, next one here. So Spence says, I didn't feel like even considering Thurman as an opponent was being pushed on me. And then the Groat jumped in and she says, I'll fight Thurman at 154. So serious. All the respect in the world to him too. I just think I can outbox him. Yeah.
Would it be over 2-minute rounds?
The poster would be called Equal Lefts and Equal Rights.
don't know. Thurman's not been very active, Andy. The quote, she might have a chance.
Dude, he was
Man.
in good. He was in good shape when I saw him, man. He was in good shape.
Oh, he's
The
ready
one
for his
time's looking good.
18-month. His 18-month trip out into the ring, is he?
Well, I think in his defense, just quickly, I mean, you look at how long they keep a lot of these PBC guys on the
that's
shelf,
true.
regardless where they're at. Like, they just don't have the dates, and guys like Keith Thurman have suffered. You'd love to say like it's his fault, but it maybe a little is, but not the bulk.
Man versus Can. But no, you're right, because it was at Wilder that mentioned it, that some of the PBC fighters are getting a bit antsy, not getting fight dates. They got taxes to pay, got hussies to pay for, not getting fight dates, and no paydays.
And if I was Al, I'd be like, shut up, you're all millionaires already from fighting bums. Let me do what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get some more money for you. Shut the fuck up.
That's a fair point. Oh, dear. Right, what we got here then? Ricky revealed, threw in a super chat earlier. He said, IFL should just fold at this point. Cougs jumped in. And if IFL should fold, just think about how relevant you are, you crackhead. Pin that tweet. Rick reveal.
Cook's taking bodies, man, eh? Fucking hell, slacking them up. There was someone else, I forget who it was. I want to say his name is Jack. It probably isn't. He was winding Coogan up sort of awful, sending them fucking pictures and that, DMs. But
Ricky shouldn't take that shit, man. Oh, fucking Coogan, by the way. Who the fuck does he think he's talking to Ricky Gravel like that? Ricky Gravel's on the fucking... Well, they've got a lot in common. They're both on the sanctions list and they can't enter the US.
Ricky Gravel's respected him about these parts. Coogan tried this push with us as well, and he got put in his place. Ricky should fucking... I think Ricky told him as well. He says, I'm the 2022 Twitter champion. So that tells you all about Ricky, by the way. So leave the man alone.
It's about levels in this game, isn't it?
Fucking right it is.
It's not Ricky Gravel doesn't smoke crack. He does everything else. He doesn't smoke crack.
I know.
Like
That's
Coogan,
Bible.
like Coogan though, he sniffs the seats that the woman's been sitting on as well. You know what I'm saying?
Depends what's
You know
on
what
the
I'm
seats, I suppose.
Depends what you've been drinking actually as well. I suppose.
Oh dear. Nadeem Haddad put this one in. He said, "Me, if Anthony Joshua takes a beating like that and Derek James doesn't stop the fight."
That's fucking awesome.
One of the goat moments of all time, Andy, man.
Oh,
Bo
mate,
Holyfield,
listen,
the fan man.
I'd be signing up for sniper training, mate, so I could take him out, just to allow the beating to continue.
They beat the shit out of that poor fella.
It was some funny one. Everyone was hitting him, man. It was like a fucking naked gun or something on it. It was like they were all just fucking taking turns hitting, running up and hitting him. Like me and my dad were watching that live in the middle of the night. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
See if anybody who's no old enough to witness that, but were born around about 1993, witness what happened to the US soldiers that got dragged through Mogadishu. That's what happened to this poor bastard man. He got dragged out the ring into the crowd.
His wee helmet bouncing up and down like Sonic the Hedgehog, collecting rings.
and his headgear was bouncing up and down as well.
He got the shit kicked out of him.
He got the sickest
like
old man sold into sexual slavery after that. He was never seen a bad man again.
No, he was a madman, wasn't he? Didn't he do something?
He committed
suicide.
He died jumping off
He
something.
committed suicide in the end, but no, he done Buckingham Palace and all. Apparently,
he jumped out of a plane without a parachute or something like that.
I don't know. Fucking mad bastard, man. James, something I think you
It would have been funny if you went into the ring and Evander and Riddick would have lit him up.
The thing is, man,
they all of a sudden turned their attention to him.
He took a beating worse than Fulton and fucking Crawford Spence combined, man.
He dared to be great, Andy. He dared to be great.
Nadim Hamed should have extended that and done the Simpsons tribute where he fucking flies into the ring and then saves Homer from Dedrick Trading. Like he should fucking fly in and save Joshua.
I agree with you, Steve. He did dare to be great. I mean, who else can top that entrance, mate? I mean, nobody. I mean, fucking Prince Nassim tried to come on a flying carpet.
Go and watch that on YouTube if you're too young to have seen that. 93 was the second fight, wasn't it? Bo versus Holyfield. Mills Lane was the referee. HBO filmed it, and the fan man, as he was affectionately known, comes with a power. And look at the back. Look at his back. He's got this big fan attached.
And if you haven't seen the Simpsons episode that references it, go watch that one too. I think that's season 6 or 7, probably, maybe 8. Fantastic episode. Homer is a boxer.
The best, and thing is, the best, if you're into your kind of like your animal documentaries, like the best description you can give here is it's like a pack of lions just waiting for something to fall, and they fucking pounce at once.
This was just standard fare for a Biddy-Bo fight, though, Andy. I mean, this was...
What was his name? What was his manager's name again?
Rock Newman.
You might. Oh, he'll have to throw some hands in that as well. Hey, dragging cunts out the top rope.
He was handy rock when he was in like Flynn. Like,
Oh my god,
he looked like Piper Perry, except the dicks were fists instead.
Steve, I can get inspiration for punches for the past episode here, mate.
Yes, absolutely. If we haven't done it already, I can't even remember this at this stage. To be honest, we might have done. I don't think we have. Oh dear. Anyway, moving on. Michael Thompson sent this one in. Boone County Brawl. This looks legit here. Mason Maynard against Landon Van Dyke, the Viper versus the Pitbull. Apparently, there's been an outcry, Matty, about these 9-year-olds being put in the ring in Western Virginia. I think it is. There's some people aren't happy about this kind of affair.
Is it the kids, or are they just taking pictures of the kids and Mason Menard is fighting somebody?
I don't think they're taking pictures of them. They're actually fighting.
But that kid's got the same name as the boxer Mason Menard. I just wonder if that's not.
This is the Viper Mason Maynard. You know, fucking see the other at the top left of the poster, different fighter. Isn't it?
I don't know what's going on anymore.
I thought it was Tony Edwards' fight poster when I seen it first. I said, "What the?"
Where's that? Where's WV?
West Virginia. It's not him, Matty, because Mason Menard is spelled Menard.
Yes, it is.
Coincidence.
Well,
God, it's West Virginia. I'm not surprised.
There's nothing there, mate. So they'll be fighting for like 10 cents, two boys.
Is that a mad place to be, Matty? Western Virginia?
Well, there's
have you ever seen the movie, the documentary, The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia?
No.
Steve, put it on your list. Oh my fucking God. Just put it on your list, man. It is like some of the most fucking hillbilly white trash shit you'll ever witness in your goddamn life. And it's not contrived. It's all how they fucking live, man. It's goddamn madness, dude. Fucking just like pill popping fucking psychopaths.
Great recommendation.
Who insist on they have to keep their coal mines too? Like they just are totally uninterested in everyone. Fucking build something. They're gonna go into a coal mine. They'll do just about anything.
No, we know what you mean now. We know what you mean now. Geordies. That's what you mean. They're like Geordies over there.
Now I don't know what you mean.
Newcastle people.
Oh dear me. Jake Donovan reporting this one. Terence Crawford going in at the end of the press conference. He says, "I've been telling you all for years, you're looking sad. Ellie, Sekback, you're looking like a retarded ass dude right now."
I get cancelled for that one, Bud, after his big moment. You won't see him again.
What did someone say afterwards? Ellie Sekback, retarded.
Fuck's sake. Anyone can get it. I've been in it. Oh dear. Michael Thompson put this one on. It's probably one for the moment, but I thought it was quite funny. Matty put it in the Nutters group. Did you shower before a fight?
Jesus.
Jim Gray. Oh dear.
I love them. Gotta love them. They're fantastic work. Never leaving anything to chance.
He's in a gad. Amir Khan rocked as new woman claims he begged her for no holds barred sex June steamy 4-month affair that ended after his wife, Farial, threatened to name and shame her. He's been up to his old tricks again, Amir. Oh dear. When will he ever learn, Andy? I don't know, to be honest with you. But he's loving life.
Aye. He was promoting himself on last night's broadcast. See me live on Spence Crawford on TNT Sports. I was like, it's not about you, man. Who cares?
I didn't see it, but I heard it was a bit ropey with him and Denzel Bentley, was it? And Dempsey and.
To be fair, Denzel was fine. So was Carol. Dempsey's been there before, mate. He knows, but Amir was a bit of a struggle sometimes.
Bit of a struggle for Amir. Final few now. Gareth A. Davis, luckily he wasn't scoring the big fight, but he said, "Have this 58-55 Crawford after 6 rounds." Hashtag Spence Crawford. The guard there, Matty, getting in with some scoring. Can you concur?
I would say Spence won the first and the third, so that's about right.
Oh, you're in guard territory then?
No, Spence won the first and the third, probably.
Oh, the guard's been nominated for Bellew of the Week here, so we're not supposed to be agreeing with him. This is getting a bit awkward now, to be honest.
I think you're just looking for some ammo sometimes. He gives us enough. We don't have to do it when he's in there. There you go. That's better. That's what we need.
Poor Gad. Also, Rob reminded me of this one. The beef backstage. Caleb Plant, the Mel and Maul's wife, ex-wife, whatever it was, were fighting outside. It was all kicking off out there, Andy. They're having a big scrap.
You know, it's actually quality about pimp hands, swapping hands with him here, actually. Charlo actually took it like a bitch, done nothing. He actually walked away to begin with, and then he started to kind of walk toward him, but he was getting pulled back at the same time, like the hard man hold me back type of shit. Plans getting dragged out of the place. He's raging. No idea what the shit was about. I just found it funny, but just the fact is that Planet walked up to him and literally slapped him. Properly slapped him to fucking spit and everything's coming right out of his mouth. And the fact is he walked away and done nothing. I thought the Charlos were all about that life, mate. I thought they were X time down.
I think there's something wrong with this guy, dude. Like I don't think
Aye,
his
I think so.
his inactivity, and he looked like honestly a guy that was on barbiturates outside in the other footage, where he's just walking around, kind of pushes a few random security guys, but no, like he looks out of it, like he looks like he's high. But the funniest thing about this is that Derek James said the incident between Caleb Plant and Charlo happened about an hour before that. So Caleb Plant is obviously letting him bury in his mind. What happened was they were splitting up the fight, and apparently Charlo grabbed his beard or touched his face or something, like, and pulled at his beard. And Derek James was kind of trying to talk Caleb Plant out of reacting, but he was like, at this point he's not listening to me. And Radio Raheem was like, well, when was that? And he was like, about an hour before he went up and slapped him. So Caleb Plant's let it boil for an hour and then walked up to him, ran over it when he seen him, and like fucking check left hooked him with a slap. And Charlo's left looking fucking bemused like the guy off the Tango ad. Like, it was a bit weird. It's weird seeing Charlo like that, to be honest with you. But there's a reason that the younger Charlo is fighting Canelo and not this guy. Like, I don't think everything's right there, you know, that way.
Yeah, and he loves a drink too. Same with Spence, man. A lot of these, they're always pissed up, man. I mean, everybody likes having a good time, but they always seem to be pissed at
We're
every
getting
show.
that PBC money, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Steve, remember my prediction from the beginning of the year that between the Charlo brothers, there will only be one fight this year.
Yeah, absolutely. You could well be right with that, Matty. Anyway, sticking with you, Matthew, you were there the weekend. Did you see anything funny? Any Donny stories? Do you want to throw anything in for Bellew of the week?
Listen, one of the funny things I saw was this guy was illegally selling T-shirts on the property of the T-Mobile outside of the doors, and he sold one last one to Donnie before the security ran up on him and told him to get the fuck out of there. And he was like walking, and like people were trying to follow him to buy shit, and he was like talking to him, and the security chick was getting rough with him, and he fucking said he'd knock her out, and she said to him, "Hey, do you think I've never been punched in the face before, motherfucker?" And yeah, that was pretty good. Enjoyed it.
Is she going to fight for a title on Chicks with D?
You get hard on Matty, you know.
She's gonna get the loser of the Shadeja Green fight on the big bulk fight. Same night in a tag team match.
Oh, tag team boxing, don't mention it. Good stuff. Matty, Andy, any nominations from you, please?
Yeah, just one for obviously the situation between the two Charlo's wife or ex-wives, or whatever it's called. And I don't know what the situation is, but I think they're getting dragged about the car park.
It's embarrassing, wasn't it, really?
No, really, mate. I mean, that's what you want to see: women fighting, skirts getting pulled up, and you know, that's what you want to see.
Hair pieces getting pulled off and all.
But the thing is, mate, the male can ststand back and say, "Listen, they fucking cheat to talk about us and our behaviour," you know. So
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, so it was lit, baby. That's what we needed. That's what we needed to get the launch tingling for the main event happening, which was good. As I mentioned,
It was better than the fucking undercard, to be honest with you, wasn't it?
It was actually, aye. And one for Stephen Jackson, mate. I think he's an ex-basketball player, but he been laying into wee Timmy Bradley, who, by the way, also was stoked last night. I fucking told you. He was on Twitter last night telling us all that. I told you it'd happen. It was like Timmy had won the fight himself, man, the way he was going on, you know what I'm saying? But Stephen Jackson, ex-basketball player, he was shitting on Bradley, saying who's he ever beat. He didn't beat Pacquiao on
that guy want to fuck off, by the way. Like,
I don't know who he is really, but he's got some
he's
sort
a
of
baseball
decent
player or something,
showtime.
is he? Maddie might know.
Basketball, I think it was.
Who's
Oh,
that?
basketball, maybe. Stephen Edwards,
Jackson.
is it?
Stephen Jackson.
Fuck. It's ringing a bell, but I mean, that's a very common name. You know what I mean?
Stephen with a PH.
John Smith.
I don't know for sure.
Doesn't matter anyway. One for him, one for Tim Bradley for he was flexing massively in that. Need to figure out how Eddie's going to get himself into the Spence Crawford stakes here, try and get a bit of publicity off it. One for Ben claiming that he's clear. And one for the board actually they came out with some sort of weird statement as well. I need to go and pull it up again actually, to be fair, but yeah, one for the board possibly as well.
Okie doke. Thank you, Andy. Rob, anything from you, please?
No, it was actually the best week in boxing, so there was very little Bellew of the week action apart from the fucking shenanigans outside the ring, like at the fight itself. The two boys hanging out on the boulevard with one time was worth a mention as well. That the dress, like Donnie just heard the pod last week, was like, "All right, fuck that, I'm open at one," like, and went to Vegas. I don't know, man.
It's like the gay blind man descends on Carnival.
It was like Thurman was dressed like Suge Knight in all red, like culottes and that, and he was even looking at Donnie like, "Fuck, man, you're after pushing the boat out a bit here, like you're taking risks." So yeah, and me almost missing the fucking fight only for Andy ringing me. But yeah, not much Bellew of the week stuff for this week for me. I'm a bit Aussie this week with it.
Yep, nothing from Oz.
Oh, and Donnie was trying to give me fashion tips, by the way, guys. I know. How dare he challenge me with his primitive skills?
How dare he, indeed.
How dare he to be great.
Let's race through them very quickly then. We have Tony Bellew on Conor Benn. We have Christina Poncha and Mauro Ranallo wearing identical outfits. We have the Goat saying she'll fight Thurman. We have Rick Graville fighting against Kugan Cassius. We have the Fan Man. We have the youngsters fighting out in West Virginia. We have Jake Donovan alerting us to Crawford going in on Ellie Setback. We had Bud there pre-fight with Jim Gray. We also had Amir Khan busted again. We had the guard, or maybe not the guard. We don't know. We'll nominate him anyway for being the guard. And we had Plant and Charlo beefing backstage, plus all the ones the boys have thrown in. What are you going for this week, Andy?
Plant. I'm going to go for Plant pimp slapping Charlo like that, and in fact, he's done nothing. It was just bemusing at me, because any other time Charlo would have been up in his face, all that energy, all that emotion, nothing. So I'm going to go for that.
Yeah, and I mean, if you've seen the video specifically, it's also just based on the fact that somehow Caleb Plant was being hard yet still looked like a bitch. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know.
Is he getting your vote as well then, Matty?
Oh, amen, sir. Amen.
2 for Plant. Who are you going for, Rob?
Sorry, I'm going for the guys who I forgot to nominate. Your man Ray Jackson off Twitter, who's been relentlessly trolling Bud Crawford for like fucking 2 years.
Is he Stephen Jackson's brother?
I don't know.
Somebody mentioned that before. I'm starting to. I could have completely made that up. Sorry, Rob.
Yeah, I don't know, but him and like Artman and all these characters like who are just fucking trolling Bud Crawford, like, and fucking acting so fucking stupid on Twitter, like, and looking so stupid now after what happened, like, so all that, like, all that action as well. Yeah, I'm going for that.
Good stuff. I was going to go for Tone for defending Conor Benn, but he's won it enough times. And anyway, the 2 votes go to the Charlo and Plant for the bit of beef backstage plus the wives. So congratulations, boys. You're the Bellew of the Week winners for episode 533.